And we are live. My name is John Crump. I'm the Virginia Director for Gun Owners of America, and I'm a writer for AmmoLand.com. If you like what I do here, GOA, there it is, Rich. If you like what I do here, you can always support the channel. I love the Green Minute Man. You can always support the channel at patreon.com/John Crump. Also, you can check me out at crumpy.com. Super chats are open. 100% of my proceeds, 100% of the proceeds will go to my niece Bella. All right, who was supposed to be on the show originally, but she was a little bit sick. Um, yeah. Okay. Today I have a crazy guy with a crazy bird in the background. His hobbies are crashing planes
It
and
gets expensive crashing planes.
making YouTube videos. His name is Flying Rich. How are you doing, Rich?
Good, good. I got tested for the coof today. I guess I'll find out in a couple of days. That might be my Christmas present to find out whether I got it or not.
Are you feeling better?
I'm all right. I have good days and bad days.
Yeah, I mean that
My,
stuff, no joke.
yeah. My wife, she's getting hit pretty hard by it today, and my daughter's just been hanging out in bed, but she doesn't seem to be like coughing and whatevering. She just seems to be having like headache, congestion.
Yeah,
But
like
my
the whole.
wife lost her taste. I said that happened 13 years ago when we got married, but
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Yeah, but bunch of people in my family that have it right now. They all got together like a couple weeks ago. Fortunately, I could not make it. Fortunately, my mom couldn't make it either. But now everyone
uh,
else has it. So Christmas is going to be very small at my house this year.
yeah. My big concern is, Terry spent the prior weekend with her parents, and they're not the picture of health. And so far, they're doing good. So that's the big important thing.
Yeah, yeah, that is. Apparently, there's some new strain of it now.
Yeah. Apparently, there's the super coof out there.
Yeah, but apparently they say that v- the vaccine works on it though.
Okay, good to know.
It's only
Yeah,
showing up in
I
it's showing up in like southern England or something like that. That's it.
Yeah, where they're getting all the people off the boat into England. Like, so people in England can't move around, but they can take everybody from boats. Refugees. That's cool. No problem here.
That is, yeah. So, we were talking earlier before we got on the air about what's going on with Walmart. Uh, do you want to discuss that since you haven't heard about it? You asked me if I had any stories that are out there.
Yeah. Well, you've been breaking like where's my fluid trap? And
Oh, the
looking
solvent trap.
around.
I
My
got, I got,
solvent trap. Yeah.
I got a bunch of stories coming out about that. Let me go ahead and I'll put this up. This is my latest article about Walmart here, and this just came out today. Once I get it open, here it is. Here we go. Boom. All right. Bam. Let me just open this up here. Walmart turns over customer 4473 records to the ATF. Basically, Walmart is shutting down 20% of the FFLs, which is around 500 FFLs. What's going on with that is they can transfer their 4473s to another store, or they can turn it into the ATF. They chose
Wow.
to turn it into the ATF. I called the compliance officer, the one that's working with the ATF that's dealing with this. Um, I don't know. For some reason, the phone keeps on disconnecting every time I call them.
Like, it's Crump. Damn it.
Yeah. So it's going to ATF, the to the ATF out of business office in Martinsburg, West Virginia. A scary thing that a lot of people don't know is they have these high-speed scanners, and they're scanning all the 4473s into a system using OCR technology. Are you familiar with OCR?
Yep.
It's optical character recognition. Basically, it turns like a picture or a PDF or a form, whatever, into a readable Word document, so you can search on it. So let's say Rich bought a gun from a retailer that went out of business, all they would have to do is search Flying Rich, and all the guns would come up that he purchased.
So I think the important thing that people don't realize is normally when you buy a gun from an FFL, your 4473 lives in the FFL safe for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's the legal requirement. So typically, it never goes to the ATF. So as
So
a Florida resident, other
by,
than
that by
what
law
were
go to the ATF unless they are shutting down.
right. So as a Florida resident, there's no registration on handguns, rifles, semi-auto, anything. So the only record as a Florida resident is you had a background check done. That's it.
Yeah, same
So
with Virginia. But now they're going to have a searchable database. And it's against the law for them to have a registry, and they're not calling this a registry; they're calling it a searchable database.
well, just to say, what you mean the federal government lied to us?
Yeah, well, they're just changing the words. It's not a
Yeah,
registry.
so like when it says my social security card will never be used as identification or a serial number.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't realize that you don't have to give out your social security number for like almost anything besides just tax purposes.
Well, now, so realistically, your employer, your bank are the only places that should have your social security number. But when you go to a doctor's office, the only reason the doctor wants your social is in case he needs to send you to collections
Yeah,
or cell phone carrier or something. So just, I'm dyslexic. I flip digits all the time. It's awful.
yeah, yeah. It really is crazy. There used to be a thing where a lot of people back in the day would ruin their credit, and then they would get another tax number. I never did that, but I do know people who did do that, which is crazy. But my main thing is they're not legally allowed to have a registry, and they're not calling this registry. They're calling this a searchable database. What the hell's a
I
registry?
I guess because you didn't register, it's not a registry.
I guess not, but
I'm sure, Webster's dictionary says a registry is where you register something.
yeah. So it's kind of funny how
Wait,
they
is this a registry like when I get married, I put the guns I want people to buy me? Is that the kind of registry we're talking about?
I did do that, and I didn't get a single gun. I like my wife got so mad at me because on our registry I had like stuff like that. I had video games and stuff like that. I just was messing around with people. She was like, she before we got married, she told me, "Hey, you need to put some stuff on the registry that you think we need." And I was like, you can handle that." She was like, "No, you should do it too." And I was like, "All right, I'll do it. I'll show you." Like, we're not gonna do it again. I had like video games. I had like these like chairs with speakers in it. I had guns on there. I had all sorts of like crazy stuff. I had like a typewriter for some reason.
Typewriter. Oh my gosh, I finally tossed all the typewriters I had. You know, it, I I have the family house in New York, which I rent out now, but I mean, basically for 100 and change years, I've had all the family stuff. So ancient typewriters, everything. Like I just like I called bankruptcy. There's only so much crap you can have.
I talked to someone today. This is an amazing story. Uh, who that when their parents died a while ago, like a few years ago, they went and picked up some stuff, and they never went through the stuff. This was like 10 years ago that they bought their stuff. And they finally went through it, and they called me because they're not gun people, and they found like 6 Colt Pythons
Oh my gosh!
that was just in like a container. They're like, "Are these worth anything?" I mean, and they're in like pristine condition. They sent me pictures of them.
Oh,
I was like,
oh.
"Yeah." I was like, "I'll sell them all. You give me one." I didn't say that. I was like,
Right. The little red guy on your shoulder saying, I can work a deal here.
No, they've been going through some really tough times.
Oh, well, good for them, you know?
I was like, well, because they're like, oh, we don't know how you're gonna pay our mortgage. I was like, oh, you got the mortgage couple covered for a couple of months at least.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird how
Yeah,
that works.
that's cool.
Sort of 60 whole
So,
python, like non-fired cold pythons, just in a box.
non-fired.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Wow, that's nice.
yeah. I
So,
guess like
like,
her dad bought them and died like 10 years ago, and they just never opened up the boxes, and they were all stacked up in there.
no. Oh, I got these boxes. They're kind of heavy. Wonder what's in there.
They're not
Wow.
on any guns. But I was like, yeah, you own six now.
Very cool. That's very cool.
I'm
So,
gonna
John,
help.
I got a question for you. Do you go to school for journalism,
No, engineering.
engineering, like software engineering, or engineering?
I have like multiple degrees in different
Uh
forms of
oh.
engineering, everything from software to mechanical to electrical
Oh,
to
okay.
to government.
Remind me when we're offline. I want to tell you an electrical engineer story.
I know. Yeah, so I have like I don't know. I got like I did like a degree for every letter in my college type thing.
Oh my gosh.
No, I didn't do that many. I only got 5 or 6 majors.
Okay. So, how bad is Instagram snooping on us?
Pretty damn bad, man. They've been snooping on everyone. I wrote a lot of the software, so not the snooping software, but the other software. So I know they're I mean they data mine the shit out of people. Facebook. You got to remember.
Oh,
Here's the if if they're not trying to sell you a product and they're not charging you to use
you're the
it,
product.
you are the product, and they are. I mean, Facebook knows a lot about you. They know, and it's all for targeted marketing purposes. So they can target you exactly. If people look, oh, it must be listening to me because they know exactly what I've been looking for. It's like, no, they just know you that well.
Oh, dude, Harbor Freight shows up on my feed. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the tool I was looking. I'm like, I own that tool. How? I'm like, I didn't talk about it. How is this? I'm like, how are these things popping up? I didn't talk about. Well,
Because
unless the camera picked up that it was around.
no, they use machine learning to determine what you would like by different terms that you look and the different groups that you look. You turn over the keys to the castle to like Facebook and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny. So I do a tech podcast on Podnuts, and the guy from Podnuts, he says, who cares about the Alexa or the Google Home? Because my wife's all nutso about it. I'm like, you got something that has 2 cameras and like 4 microphones on it in your pocket the whole time.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is that 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 they can turn that microphone on and the camera's on anytime that they want remotely. They've actually got warrants where they've actually basically bugged someone by using their own phones.
Unbelievable.
And just like
Absolutely.
they've solved crimes by like remember the Scott Peterson crime?
I know the name. I don't remember the story.
Wife dumped her out at see his pregnant wife, killed his pregnant wife, and
Yes, yes.
the way they caught him was they asked him where he was, and he said, "Oh, I was here." And they looked at his cell phone record and determined where he was. And they went there and they dove down, and that's where the body was.
Oh,
And just, like I
grisly.
said,
That's
they knew exactly where he went. So every time you walk around with a cell phone, even if your location is off, they're still triangulating your signal and they can tell exactly where you are, and they log all that,
oh yeah.
log every ping because it's
Yeah.
just small little pieces
Or
that
or if you're
yeah.
doing something wrong and your heart rate goes up.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I have a saying that says, "Big Brother is here. 1984 is here. Big Brother's here, and we are Big Brother."
Right.
We spy on ourselves. We give up privacy for convenience.
I remember. So I'm going back to the days. This is when people just started using AOL, and it was Prodigy beforehand. I remember some guy on like IRC or something like that. He's like, "I'll never use anything that automatically downloads in my computer."
Yeah, IRC is Internet Relay Chat. Prodigy was a service that started in the late 80s, and it was basically pre-internet internet. It was like our own ecosystem internet.
Was it free? I mean, see, I go back to like FidoNet and all that bit, dial-up modem, and
That's dial-up modem. That's using Folky's list and stuff like that. He had all that stuff.
yes.
But no, Prodigy wasn't free. There was a charge to it. I think it was like $9.99 a month, and it was like self-contained internet. They actually had emails where you got 30 emails. Then every email that you sent or received past that 30 was 25 cents.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Wow.
but they
Well,
were
do you
good.
remember? You remember when email attachments came as MIME types and you had to combine them?
Yeah, yeah. You get like a bunch of them, and you had to combine them all to. Yeah, they had like the news groups and everything. I remember all that. Yeah, I was big into IRC, man. I used to take over IRC servers. I got banned from like almost all of them, like Undernet, all of them. They tried to ban me. I used to always evade their bans and come back above, like above net or above net was the company I worked for, but something like that. I used to evade their bans. I used to call what's called a net split, where like the two instances of the server broke and then like recombine, and then you can cause that, jump in a channel that you're only in, so when it recombined that you were a op, and then you could kick everyone else out. I used to be terrible. We used to call it phishing. I and basically we would go in there with like a girl's name like Snow White or something, and we called it phishing because anyone that messaged us was the fish, and that means we caught them, and then we would
Yep.
just just like destroy them, like start DDoSing them and stuff like that. Um, yeah,
The ancient art of hacking.
yeah. There's a IRC thing called Undernet, and there was the owner of Internet was Doctor Cocktail. That was his name. So he went to what was called K-line, which is like banning from the whole server. But what I did is I spoofed my IP address to be his. So when he went to ban
He
me,
banned.
he banned himself. I couldn't get back on
That's
the
funny.
server. And they had to bring down all the servers. They had to bring. Yeah, man, I was a
So
terror back then, man.
now you mentioned that you're buying fluid traps and 80% kits because you
Yeah.
want the ATF to knock on your door.
Well, I got 25 of them coming.
Oh my god! Did you buy them from like all the places that the ATF's been raiding?
I bought them for every single company out there,
Oh my gosh!
or they got shipped. I just want to see if they got to me. I also have 80% frames coming too. I'm not
Polymer
gonna.
frames, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like some polymer 80s, and also from our good friends over at JSD, which makes a use code Cruppy for a discount. Don't get any money from everything, just for you guys. They
Cool.
make like sig like 6 80%. So I'm gonna have that. I got my polymer 80s coming. And yeah, I'm just gonna pile it all in the drawer and just wait. I mean, I'm so pissed off at the ATF right now. Um, what they're doing to me, particularly, is my forms for my NFA items, my suppressors, are all sitting on the desk of Regina Lombardo, the
That's
acting
crazy.
yeah. And you know the only reason they're doing that, right? Is just to screw with me.
But I see that's one thing I don't understand. if you were a government agency, fine, you could be mad at somebody. It's like, ah, frick, I got to rubber stamp his form. Here you go. But to what they have a maximum, we can make him wait 89 days, and then we can deliver the form. Is that what they're doing?
Well, I have like suppressors out for like 14, 15 months right now.
Because I've heard people, do it online and they get it in like 30 days.
I'm 14, 15 months.
That's crazy.
They don't like me, man. I'm gonna blow that up after the first of the year and release all the documents showing that what my forms are. And what I'm trying to do is figure out who else they have it in for.
Uh-huh. So you're looking for other litigants, other plaintiffs.
I didn't say that. Who else they're doing it for. Yeah, that's why I want that. Every day they must look at it and go, should we release it, or is he going to sue us today? They know it's coming. He's like, they have to know it's coming.
Right. So when are they going to come after 3D printers,
What's that?
When are they coming after 3D printers?
Yeah, it's probably going to be soon. They're going to come after the files. But
The
that
files.
time with, because they're not gonna lose that on a Second Amendment issue. They're gonna lose that on the First Amendment. Because
there's
First Amendment already.
Yeah, there's so many ways that people are distributing files out there. I guess Cody Wilson was defense distributed, right?
He is still defense distributed.
And that was like the first way people were distributing 3D files. But there's library where there's a lot of 3D files.
Yeah,
what else is out there?
Ivan the Troll. Control Pew.
And who was Control Pew was just in Georgia at a gun show selling 3D printers.
Yeah. Yeah, you have all those guys out there. They're doing God's work, man.
I love it. And think about Palmetto State Armory. That their whole concept on it is they just want so many AR-15s out there that there's going to be nothing you can do about it.
I don't think there's anything they can do about it now. There's like 100,000 ARs out there, minimum. That was from a few years ago, so I don't know what it is now, but it's definitely more than that.
Right.
I don't think that they can do it. Everything that they can do is just crazy. I do know who's behind a lot of the brief stuff, though.
Oh, can you say? Is that top secret?
I'll spill it. Moms demand action.
Oh, okay.
They've been
writing
about
Bloomberg
braces.
Yeah, and that's a crazy thing to me. So somebody like Bloomberg that has a personal protection team 24/7 wants to deny somebody else like you or I that can't afford a personal protection team the right to keep and bear arms.
Yeah, basically.
Swamp Dog is saying your mic is a little low, and when I started in with you, I did turn up on my audio so I could hear you better.
All right, is this better, guys? That
better on my end.
All right, definitely better. Turn on my mic. I got a new soundboard. I hooked it up and it didn't work, so I had to take it all apart. Well, it worked, but it was like clicking. There was this like clicking, click, and I was just. So I think there's something wrong with it. I'm gonna get rid of my tap cam and go to something more streamlined.
Usually, you get the 60 hertz hum on a soundboard when you got bad power isolation.
Yeah, but then this is weird. It's I know the 60 hertz hum, but this it would just like all of a sudden be like it sounded like feedback. Like every couple minutes, it would like this feedback loop.
Yeah, it was soldered on Friday at 5 o'clock in China.
Yeah, probably.
So, John, you car guy? I was always wondering on this one.
Am I a car guy? Yeah, man. I got I'm a car guy.
Yeah, I've seen like one or two posts. I see you post about like a Genesis sedan.
I love the G70s, man, and the Kia Stingers and the G70s. That powertrain is just scary for a
Well,
reasonable price.
all right. So there's a couple of things I've been eyeing. I have the Genesis Coupe, which is the 3.8 liter V6, which is 348 horse on premium only. But it's got a Torsen differential, which is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. And what that means is the differential it's geared so it'll do a 90-10 split, which is really bad on tire wear because you're always engaging like both wheels pretty good at going around the corner. So your rear tires go pretty quick. But I've been eyeing either the G70 or the Stinger, one, because you can get the Comma AI set up for it, which self-drives the car, which I have in my wife's. My wife got a Lexus. We got her a 3-year-old Lexus, so it was $61,000, and we got it for 26,000 off. So I'm
Oh,
pretty happy about that.
wow.
And the Stinger or the G70, I'm like, you got a twin turbo 3.3 liter V6, some high performance mods on that. You probably can push out a whole bunch of horsepower and have it self drive.
Yeah, you can. You can. What's really cool about it is that the US versions of the G70 are detuned. So you can
So you
get
can,
they have a JB4, which JB4 it's a piggyback system. So you
mm-hmm.
don't actually flash or AI, but it lets you do maps, and you can unlock all the power of the Korean one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you can go up another 100 horsepower
Oh, that's nutso.
for like under $1,000. You do have to change the spark plugs in there though.
Oh, Lord. Unless it's like my wife's car, changing the plugs on that, you got to take the intake manifold off.
You have to take them out and pull it off. You
Are
do
you
have to do
serious?
that. Yeah.
How awful is that?
I don't know, man. It's like it sucks because I remember my old cars, and you could just, you could just go ahead and do that like easily. One thing about the Comma AI that I don't understand is if you go to the Comma AI website, 'cause I was looking at it, the 2019 Genesis is not supported, but the 2018 is. But there's nothing different.
Yeah, it might be like community listed. It might just be they don't have an entry in there. So you can also look at the source code and see the product lines and how they're supported.
Yeah. So how does that work? You just explain me the Comma AI.
All right. So my wife had a 2017 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, and we really liked it. A great car. One day she says, "Hey, I want an SUV." And I know she wanted a higher end car, and I was starting to look at stuff. And the RAV4, it looks like poor college kid, and I want to get her the hybrid still. So I found something. So for the Comma AI to work, you have to have the adaptive cruise control. So basically, the car will automatically work the throttle and brake for you. So you have radar on it to spot the vehicles ahead and your closing distance. It also has to have lane stability. So you have hardware in there that'll actually turn the steering wheel. So if you have that functionality in there, basically there's two Y harnesses, or actually there's a Y harness you plug in basically behind the mirror. There's usually a camera there. So you jack into the Y harness there, and then there's another wire that you run down to the OBD port, and that's it. So it self drives by your normal cruise control. So if your cruise control is on the stalk, you just hit that and boom, it's self driving. So where it's so this is it $1,200 the kit? I know they had a sale recently, but
I think it's I was looking at it, and it's like 1,000.
yeah. So Usually it's like the wiring harness is, $200 or
Yeah,
199, whatever, and it's
yeah. So
999 for the.
1,200 for everything together.
So basically, it's a cell phone in a 3D printed housing with a fan. They have IR LEDs on the front that watch your eyes. So if you look down like that, it knows you're looking down, and it'll like go beep beep and say, "Hey, start driving or pay attention to the road." And if you wear sunglasses, it knows where your head is facing. So if your sunglasses have progressive lenses like mine and you want to read a book, you could just do this. But if you do that with your sunglasses, it knows that you're looking down. So very cool. I've my daughter's going to school in Gainesville up by Hank, so it's like a 4 hour, 3.5, 4 hour ride up that way. And for the most part, boom, I just turn on the autopilot and it drives. It's really good for in for people. I'm using all of these terms. I don't want people think like it's going to drive, turn corners, and go get milk. No, it's like cruise control on the highway with enhanced lane stability, better than what you get from the car manufacturers. And it's great for like if you want to reach in the cooler in the back seat and grab a beer. I mean a cold drink, or if you're reaching around to do something that you would normally, how when you're driving you got your hand on the wheel and then you turn, you're better off almost taking your hands off the wheel and doing stuff in the car because it'll track straight longer than you think you can keep it straight. So it's really good for that. I was hoping, I think as you get used to it, you're more relaxed with it, and you get to places, your destination, more relaxed instead of, how you have road fatigue after you've been on the road 3, 4 hours. I'm
Yeah,
finding I don't have that road fatigue after a long drive.
I gotcha. So did you install it yourself?
Oh yeah, I did it on the side of the road. We
Really?
we just we pulled over. We actually like we got the car late. We picked it up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So we kind of road trip back. The next day, I was just looking at the wiring and the harness. I'm like, we pulled over on the side of the highway, actually, just like into the grassy area. And I plugged the damn thing in, ran the wires, and that's it. I haven't adjusted it from there. That was it. That was the install. So this isn't like a massive, they give you the right harness and the right connectors. So you just plug the stuff in. The worst is, there's a fairing under the mirror, and to tuck the wires in just right, the little box that goes in there. There's room, it'll do it. You got to get it just right. And there's been a software upgrade, so you get free software upgrades, which is pretty cool. You can pay, I forget what you can pay for. I think it uploads your driving and you can see it online, but I don't do that. And I think it's based on the OnePlus phone hardware,
Okay.
and so it has a cellular modem in there, so you're always picking up some data from it. So I can actually see like low resolution videos of trips on the car, where it's been and where it is right now, like on the map, that kind of thing. It does software updates, so when it's home, it connects to my Wi-Fi and it'll do a software update or upload video to the cloud for them to analyze.
No, that's pretty cool.
So the newest version right now is recognizing stop signs, but it's not doing anything yet. So the next step is going to be it does enhanced lane recognition, so it's actually figuring where the edge of the lane is, where the edge of the road is, calculating how many lanes there are because it wasn't doing that before. So if
Yeah.
the road got wider, it would just drive down the middle.
Okay.
But it'll actually work on dirt roads, stuff like it. It's pretty darn good.
No, that's what I was wondering. It definitely seemed like, I mean, like self-driving stuff has gotten like insane out there.
So when you think about it, they're doing this on cell phone hardware. It's not like it's using like the car has surround cameras, so it's got the 360 view. It's not using that. It's just using the camera on the phone to recognize lanes and other cars cutting in. Like, so it'll do manage the following distance. It'll detect car cut-ins, the whole shooting match. Um, and it's doing that all on cell phone hardware, where Tesla's doing it with, it does use the radar on the car for the following distance. So it does, jack into the OBD bus, the CAN bus on the car to get that data. So it is picking up other data. But it is doing, facial, I don't want to say identification, facial recognition, so it sees your eyes and your head where you're looking, those kinds of things. So it's doing a number of things pretty rapidly. And, when you think about it, we basically have supercomputers in our pocket now, which would have been a supercomputer 5 years ago. That's what we have in our pockets now.
Now, what I'm wondering is when they're gonna have self-shooting guns. Because yeah, put them up on each one of my doors in my house. Be like defense mode.
Well, so wait, what is the product? I've got that electronic scope. Oh gosh, what scope is that? Where it calculates all the dope for you. The only thing I don't have is the laser rangefinder. The X-Sight, that's it. The X-Sight 4K.
That thing's expensive, isn't it?
That's like $700-800.
Oh,
So
I thought there was something.
No, there's different product lines. So this isn't thermal. This is IR. It has an IR illuminator.
Okay.
So if you want the thermal, the thermal one's more.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm stepping on you. I didn't.
So I said the one with thermal built in, it was a little bit over 4,000, I believe.
I don't think so. I don't think it's that much.
I don't know, man. I thought it was like mid-4s.
Hey, I think you can spend any amount of money. All right, so this is ATN Corp thermal imaging. So no, all right, okay. So I think the Thor 4 is their high-end version. Let's see. All right, that's $2,000.
Yeah.
So the cool thing, all right, so I'll give you the bad thing about the scope is if you don't use it, I don't have enough time behind it. If you forget all of the settings and how it works, you're not, up to speed on it. It has great functionality. One of the best functionalities is you can have profiles for different firearms, and you can mount it on the firearm. And if you're on paper with the first shot, which you should be, you can do a one-shot 0. So you just hold the X on the bullseye, and then just drag the cursor over to where the bullet round landed. Boom, next shot's dead center.
I don't know if I like that. I kind of like the old school person.
Look, the old school is definitely more understandable, and if like the UI isn't all sorts of crazy great on this, I'm expecting it to get better. But also, you can stream your video to your phone or tablet or any other device that you have. So people around you can see what's going on. And if you're hunting, you can have it record like 5 seconds before the shot and 5 seconds after the shot.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That'd be good. Live streaming like something on YouTube. Can you live stream from it?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, which you can't do on YouTube, but
yeah. Well, maybe when there's another platform that starts allowing live streaming.
Then I hear Rumble's going to have live streaming.
Yeah, I hear that too, but when?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing Rumble's going to have live streaming for a while. Live streaming takes up a lot of data.
Well, I mean, all about this. So you got to have the content distribution network to be able to, stream that out, because like we're live streaming right now, and I'm using my phone. So it's not going from my phone to everybody. It's going from my phone to YouTube server, down their main trunks to some content distribution network, and then to everybody at their home.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they're going to have to build. And that's not exactly cheap.
Right. So there's a lot of equipment, a lot of data. I mean, you could do it all cloud-based, quote unquote, but still, it's pretty expensive.
It's the bandwidth is what kills you. It's not so much the servers to just intake and send out, but it's the bandwidth, the constant amount
Right.
of bandwidth. It's not like a regular YouTube video where you can buffer or whatever. The bandwidth has to be there and responsive, or it's going to be useless.
Mm-hmm.
The driving is comma AI. I'll put it in the chat. So many people are asking about
Oh yeah,
that.
I missed that. Oh, are you on the Facebook chat or?
No, I think this is this is on the YouTube chat. Someone was asking about it.
Yeah, Kame is real cool. My wife and daughter, they both don't like it.
My wife hates technology, so.
Because I'll tell you what, like if hey, want to say hi to Scott, Girls and Guns out there.
What's up, Scott? My co-host
So,
on Virginia Reloaded, coming January 2021.
When I would fly, if I was going to do like pretty much almost any flight, the first thing I would do once you get the wheels up and you're heading in the right direction, I'd hit the autopilot on and I'd just like sit back and try and stay awake. So when I would get on the highway, because I was working in Orlando and it's a 2-hour drive from Palm Beach to Orlando, I'd reach to my dashboard all the time in the car, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing like that. But it's funny. I got so conditioned, like, hey, I'm going pretty fast for a long amount of time, for a couple hours, so I was going to reach to the dash, turn the autopilot on, but now I can't.
Yeah, that is definitely something that's really cool, and I think it's going to be more and more. Eventually, we're going to have it so we're not.
Well, GM has their version. It's called Super Cruise. There's a couple of automobile manufacturers. Originally, George Hott or Geo Hott, as he likes to be referred to, that did the Comma AI, or is doing the Comma AI, I should say. He wanted to do this as an OEM for other car companies, and I don't know why nobody's picked him up on that.
Yeah, that is really cool. Actually, I think we can get it from our van too.
You checking out the website, what it complies with?
Yeah, my van would be really, because that's what we're used to. Because like the G70, you can't really fit a lot in there. It's a sedan, but you don't really have a lot of space of most.
You get the wiring kit for both, and then you can put it in whatever one you want to drive.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to talk to my wife about that, but she don't like self-driving. She doesn't like freaking cruise control, man.
Oh gosh, I'll tell you, I can't. There's a couple of local roads coming to my house here, and the speed limit's like 30, 35, and I get behind people going 30 on it, and I'm twitching. I'm like, I got to use cruise control, otherwise I like lose my mind.
Hey, what is this? Somebody wants to know: is the 24-hour 2+ gun flag true?
Oh crap!
What is that?
I know I heard my FFL talk about something where if you buy multiple guns within a certain amount of time, it raises a flag.
That is something where if you buy 2 handguns within a week, you do the ATF has to say you have to send that to the ATF, and they just cross-reference it. No, it's within the ATF. That's within 5 days. Yeah, 2 or more.
I was gonna say, who doesn't go to a gun show and buy 2 guns in an hour?
Well, then you get, if you buy from the same FFL, then you're gonna get flagged, and they basically just fill out an extra piece of paperwork and they ship it off to the ATF, and the ATF is supposed to cross-reference it. Then if there's no crimes associated with those guns or with you, then they're supposed to shred it and not keep that information. Who knows if they actually do that or not?
So it's not a registry.
It's not a registry because they don't keep any. They're supposedly do not keep any of the information. And from what I can what I've found out is they don't really keep that information, according to my inside sources. And he would tell me, and I would definitely write about it because I did look into that a while ago to make sure. Okay, Mr. Truckwagon 55. It's supposed to be once they cross-reference everything and check you out to make sure you're not buying multiple guns at multiple places. What they want to do is check out, like, let's say you go around and you buy like 5 guns at one location, and you go to another FFL and buy 5 more, and you go to another FFL and buy 5 more. That shows a pattern where you could be trafficking
Straw
arms,
purchasing. Okay.
and that's what they're looking for. And if you only buy like 2, what they do is they look and they say, oh, okay, this is the only guns you bought within this time, and then they're supposed to shred it and get rid of it. So I mean, that's what they're looking for. So they're not actually storing the other information, but who knows?
Gotcha.
They are. I went put it past them.
In their non-registry registry.
Yeah, it's just a sensible database. It's not a registry.
Well, see, that's another thing I didn't understand is I went to sell a gun at my FFL, and I handed it to him. He put it behind his cabinet, and I forget, like, it didn't sell, and I had to pay him $5 to get my gun back. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you're taking possession of a gun. We got to do a background check on you.
Yeah, anytime it transfers. There've actually been when I had somebody who put a gun on consignment with me when I owned a gun store, and they came back to get their gun, but they committed a crime within that time. So I was like, can't give it back to you, man.
That's messed up.
But luckily, it sold within the next week.
But apparently, there was one county in Florida where they were keeping a list. So when you do that type of thing, like put up a gun for sale.
Charlotte County.
Yeah. So we got good sheriffs, and then we have sheriffs like I have.
That was my story I broke, man.
See, I read your stuff.
That was a while ago, man. I can't believe I pulled that county. Yeah, Charlotte County, Florida. Yeah, I remember doing that story. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, my sheriff's Rick Bradshaw. He's the one that left Jeffrey Epstein's cell door open.
No, I got you. Yeah. The Charlotte thing. Hank actually brought me that story. He had a tip, and I started digging into it. Hank's like, "Hey," he's like, "I don't dig into this stuff, but somebody brought me this. You want to take a look at it?" I said, "All right." We investigate it, and I found out, yeah, it's true. If the ban passes, what percentage of FLL would destroy the records in protest? Do you think to prevent the ATF going door to door? It would be, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I would guess a small percentage would. A very small percentage. I get the best scoops no one else gets. Thank you very much, Chuck. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like government agents, people in the government, I want to like bust out stuff start coming to me. Somebody said I'm going to be the next Edward Snowden, and they're going to bust down my door.
Well, I'm wondering how many FFLs, because it's if you destroyed 4473s like before the 20-year time period,
you got to
I was gonna say you could be looking at serious time.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot to deal with. But if they get destroyed in a fire.
You mean like Hunter Biden's laptop and the FBI care?
Dude, who the hell leaves a laptop with them smoking crack and a bunch of like incriminating emails and don't pay like the $20 to get it back?
But the funny part was he sent his lawyer. It's a fake. It's Russian disinformation. Oh, so why'd you send your lawyer to get the laptop back?
I got a theory that he was so high on crack that he forgot that he left the laptop there.
You don't know. When you think about things, he might not have remembered. It was like, oh, where the hell did that laptop go? I don't know. Yeah, this number keeps calling me. I have no idea who they are. Screw them. It's not on my white list, Could be.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Like, it's really funny. The people that usually pick up their phones and not send you to voicemail, I find that like people who are like really important, they always pick up the phone because they think it's an important call. Like when I called Marvin Richardson one time, he was like, "Who is this?" So it's John Crump from. Look, seriously, it's John Crump from. And all of a sudden, it's like, "Hello, hello." When I called him back on the cell phone, he kept on sending me to voicemail. So I was like, "All right, I guess he doesn't want to talk to me." You don't know who I am. I was like, I guess he knows who I am because he hung up awful fast, and he blocked my number. So whatever.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, they don't like me.
So you got on the naughty list.
Yeah, Hunter Biden actually took a selfie of himself smoking crack. Who does that? Hunter Biden, who crackhead. That's
All right.
who does that.
Okay, so I did wedding photography in New York for 20 years. And as a goof, like you have the end of the roll of film and it's like 30 frames on a roll of film of like 220. So we're like, all right, let's finish out the frames. So I took a whole bunch of sweet and low and wrapped up $100 bill and made it look like I was doing lines. And I had the picture in my room and my mom saw it. She's like, what the hell is that? I'm like, sweet and low.
Awesome. It's awesome. So, Mr. Truckwagon wants to know, if you lose the Georgia election and assault weapons ban passes with no grandfather cars, what do you suggest? What do you think will happen? I think there's
Voting
gonna
accident.
I think there's going to be mass non-compliance. I can't suggest to you what to do, but I think a lot of people would not comply with something like that. I don't think that there's any chance of it passing without a grandfather clause. I also don't think that it's going to be that if they do pass an assault weapons ban and to do the NFA thing, I'm pretty sure they're going to do, the same thing that I think might be a test run for that, the whole brace thing, where you can register with the NFA for free. I think it might be a test run for an assault weapons ban.
Yeah, I'm not registering a damn thing.
Yeah, I'm not registering it.
I 3D printed a brace, and I could just destroy it if it comes to it.
Yeah, it's. I don't think that. Thing is, they're not going to bother me.
Because nobody messes with the crump.
No, it's just. I have. Okay, I have I got a very powerful lawyer. That's my lawyer. And I have a massive gun rights organization that would, and it just wouldn't be prudent for them. They won't mess with like the people at GLA or FPC or any of them because they know it's like, okay, well, these guys really want it so bad.
So you think there's a gold star on your ATF file that says don't mess with him?
No, I think there's a gold star on my ATF file that says let's find something illegal that he did and bust him before this comes out on something that he can't stand. Actually, I submitted a FOIA today that requesting all past and previous investigations of me, including one that says any current open investigations. The current open investigations, they will come back with two things. Either we don't have any documents on that, or we cannot give you that information. If we cannot give you that information,
that's the canary.
So I'll find out either way. But I FOIA'd it. I'm doing my stuff where I'm trying to. I'm trying to get information that shows, hey, look, they're targeting me. Maybe they don't like it when I call them their personal cell phones and ask what's up with my NFA. Maybe I shouldn't poke the bear so much.
It's like, where's my silencer for? I really need that.
It's on your desk. Can't you just give it back to them?
You're a bad guy, John Crump.
I'm not a bad guy. I just like to poke the bear.
So let's talk about guns. Is there a Christmas gun on your wish list?
There's a few Christmas guns on my wish list. Am I going to get any of them? No.
So,
But I always
what
have
would be something you could afford that you'd want?
Liberator from World War II.
Really? Huh.
One so bad.
See, I would want a Sten gun. If I was going to pick that era.
Yeah, but a Liberator, man, no one has those things, and because they're junk, but they're cool junk.
Yeah,
They,
yeah. I mean, it's cool. An original one I could see if I'm not at the point where I want museum pieces.
I would love
Uh,
one.
I've shot Walter Keller's a couple of Walter's Sten guns full auto, and they're real nice.
My favorite gun is an MP44. I got to file or STG-44, whatever you want to call it. I got to fire a original World War II one
Uh huh.
out in Vegas, and the runs are expensive. And I just fired it. Wait, I just like dumped so much rounds out of that damn
Oh
thing.
yeah. Yeah.
Mark, who owns what did he own? Rifle Dynamics, which is a very high-end AK maker. He just kept on loading it up and just kept on bringing me rounds. I just kept on putting hundreds of rounds to that damn thing.
Nothing better than shooting full auto when it's somebody else's ammo.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna go shoot a freaking minigun next month, I think.
Oh yeah.
If I win the Gundies, if you can vote for me at thegundies.com.
Oh, we got to vote for John to win the Gundies.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go down there anyway, probably in the spring. But I would like to get down there now. I actually might go down there. They've offered to help me out and get down there, whatever. So I might
Oh,
do that
cool.
coverage. So I might go down and do that and shoot a minigun and shoot some tanks rounds.
Now, my dad used to drive an M4 in the National Guard.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the Stinger. But he said affordable.
You
I
know,
don't
like
know.
something. So there's a couple of guns I've wanted. I want a Safety Harbor 50,
Oh,
and I've been wanting the standard manufacturing 45. They have a 45 that's like engraved with the case hardened, and it's just so pretty. It is just beautiful. Like that's like a $2,000 gun, 1,500 or $2,000 gun.
well, a Stinger you're not going to find anywhere.
I see. When I saw Stinger, I thought he meant Kia Stinger.
No. A Stinger. I see it guns.com. Okay. Basically, a Stinger is also called the Franken gun from World War II. Let me see if I can bring it up. It's incredible. Yeah, I want one. I would love to have a Franken gun, like a Stinger. Basically, I can't find it. Whatever. Yeah, Swamp
Yeah,
Dog.
I just Googled World War II Stinger, and a couple images popped up.
Yeah, it's basically well, you have the 308 Stinger machine gun, and you have the ones that they used in Iwo Jima, and that is the one I want. It's a hacked machine gun. Let me bring this up. This is.
I think I saw the story of that recently.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it is a M1 Grand cut down with like a it has some parts of a bar on there, and it has like a 50 cal. It's crazy. Yeah, they have all sorts of ones, but yeah, Ian did something on it from Forgotten Weapons.
That might have been where I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, I would love to have that gun. But but you said that I can actually afford.
Yeah, something. I don't know what your price range is for a gun. Like, what's the most expensive gun I have? Wow,
But
most expensive firearm I have, I paid $1,300 for the FN57.
oh, really? I know. I've
Yeah.
John Sharp's AR, which kind of, but that's it right there, man. Look at that.
How messed up does that look?
Well, it was cobbled together. The Marines made it like a bar, uh, and have like an M1 Grand stock, so they can
Yes.
move well through the jungles and everything. All right, man. We've been on for over an hour, and I know my wife wants me to take care of the kids and do
You
it.
got
So I'm
kid
gonna,
duty.
yeah, I got kids duty. I'm gonna do my plugs in. I will let you do. Give you the final word. If you like what I do
Uh,
here, my journalism, go ahead and support me at patreon.com/John Crump. I don't keep any of the money. 100% of the money. I'll get to that. 100% of the money goes to my niece. That's my book. You can go to crumpy.com giants and that'll redirect you to Amazon. We have Kindle version and also a paperback version. $25 from Black Swan Tactical will actually get you a signed copy of it. And you can use code Crumpy for 10% off there. If you need a VPN, the best VPN out there is NordVPN. If you go to crumpy.com/VPN, you can get a special price on a VPN, and that's really important, especially in the days that we're coming. And the last plug that I want to give out today is JFD Supplies. Supply.com. They use code Crumpy for a discount over there, and they make awesome SIG 80% kits. And vote for me at the Gundies. Actually, that's gun. If you want to help out in Georgia, go ahead and help out in Georgia. Oh, and I forgot. Oh my God, our main sponsor is Tusk. Tusk is the universal settlement coin, and it is what we're going to use to fight back against the big crackdown from banks that are coming. You may not think they're coming, but the banks are
oh
going
shoot.
to crack down on us. And the best part of Tusk is that we get around it. There's no way they can ban it. I know there's several retailers that are going to be launching Tusk in the coming weeks. I can't say the names because it's not my place to say, but I know them. And today's ugly Christmas sweater is my ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun from Die Hard. All right, thank you guys. I'm going to give the final word to Rich, and then we are going to get out of here, and I'll see you tomorrow. We only have 2 more episodes before the last day of the year, last show of the year, not day of the year. I guess we only have 2 more episodes before the last day of the year because we're not going to be on after Wednesday
Yep.
for a while.
So, flyingrich.com, typically where all my social media is found. You can find my videos on youtube.com/flyingrich and on Instagram. So it's flyingrich_official. And Pebblesbird is Pebbles_bird on Instagram.
Why do you have a
And
freaking for your bird?
don't steal my drawings and my patent ideas.
Oh my God. There you go. Why does Pebbles have a Instagram?
Somebody thought he should, so I did it.
All right, that's why it says Rich Crazy Man in the title, whatever we're going to say. All around crazy guy. You are definitely the Florida guy.
Florida man.
Florida man. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And with that, we are out of here.